Hello, I'm Heather,
I'm Cardyn.
and welcome to the Bitchy Quill, a podcast where we talk about publishing from a feminist perspective. We also do guest mini interviews, and today we have author Samantha Schreiber. Am I saying that right, Schreiber?
You are indeed.
Okay, great.
I specifically took my husband's last name because his last name was Reiter
Oh,
in German. And
Oh,
I
I
was like,
love it.
you got a deal, sir.
I
I will take it.
see.
Oh, that's
But
Okay.
when it came to
fantastic.
choosing a pen name, my family and friends were like, are you going to use your real name? And I was like, my name is Mrs. Reiter. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I think I will.
I have to. I
I
mean,
have
it's
to.
like written in the stars.
How did
That's
you
funny
know
because
he
Exactly.
was your soulmate? His name.
I'm
His
realizing I
name.
didn't say your name because we did a panel with you yesterday about
Yeah.
YA fiction, and I'm realizing that I didn't say your name. I think I said everybody's first name, and I don't think I said your last
Yeah.
name. So there you go. That's
You nailed it.
that's where we're at. So I'm gonna kick it to Cardin, and she's gonna ask you the first question.
Yes.
Sure.
How did we meet you?
I attended the 2025 Right Women Book Fest. So one of my writer friends, which by the way, get writer friends, was attending and had mentioned it. So I reached out to see if there was space, and there was. I was
And
able to join for the last hurrah, and it was
Oh,
glorious and
we're
yay.
magical
so
and
glad for everybody that was
everything I
able.
hoped for.
Oh, I'm so
Oh, that's
glad.
great feedback. Thank you for that.
So
Absolutely.
are you local then, or do you come?
I was not and am now. So at the time,
Oh,
I was living in Austin, Texas. My husband is from Maryland. So it was kind of a nice, I try to bundle my writer work trips with,
Yes.
I have family there, I have
Yes.
friends there that I haven't seen.
Yes.
So it was like an easy excuse to come to the Baltimore area and see the family and do the event. But then we ended up moving to Maryland this summer. So I'm
Well,
here now.
welcome. And for your husband,
wow.
welcome back.
Welcome to Maryland and back for.
Thank
So
you.
did you live here before? You lived here before?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we met here. I came for college. I went to college in
Okay.
DC. So I lived here for on and off about a little over a decade, and we
Oh,
met
okay.
during
Gotcha.
that time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes you a local.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
I'm
local.
coming back
Welcome
home. Yeah.
back. Welcome
Yes, yes,
back.
Thank
yes.
you.
Welcome back. I'm glad to have you because we could use all the cool kick-ass writers we can take here in Maryland. So
Absolutely.
who okay, this is the question that I like to ask everybody because it's the question as a reader and as a writer that I want to know. And I think most readers want to know the answer to this question, which is what made you want to become a writer?
It's funny. I was thinking about this question, and um, I almost feel like you mentioned it being written in the stars. I almost feel like it came to me. My grandmother used to read to me every night when I would visit her in the summer, and I loved hearing stories. And she was very, very encouraging of me learning to read and reading anything and everything. My grandfather would give me like homework assignments while he went to work, so I would read like the National Geographics and give him like a book report. I love to read and learn about anything, and then I had a very active imagination, and I would pretend to be the pink Power Ranger and go on adventures, and I would scale my grandparents' farm fences because I was running away from the velociraptors in Jurassic Park, and I just really lived in my imagination as a kid. And I never really asked for permission. I just started writing stories. I just read them and I created them in my head and I wrote them down on paper. And I kind of never stopped doing that from being, 8 or 9 all the way until now.
And now it's what you do.
And now it's what I do. Yeah.
So I think a little bit you've answered this, but maybe there's an expansion in terms of, so you mentioned about like your grandmother reading to you and your grandfather giving you assignments, which I just find
I love
adorable.
that.
And so
That's how I became obsessed with Titanic. Yeah.
I
Go
love
read
that.
in that article.
And so then once you felt like this is my thing, um, as you were reading more and you said you read widely, were there particular kinds of stories or authors that you were like, oh, I think even though I'm interested in kind of the whole gamut, this particular area or subject or genre kind of speaks to me more, or kind of how did your taste evolve in terms of what you were actually going to pursue?
Sure, sure. Yeah, it's funny because I read all different things when I was a kid, and I emulated early days. It was not even really fan fiction, it was just emulation, emulating the Nancy Drew books and the Agatha Christie stuff that I would read, kind of coming up with my own little mystery stories. The R.L. Stein Goosebumps series, and coming up with my own little ghost stories. And Are You Afraid of the Dark was really popular on Nickelodeon, and I
Mm-hmm.
loved kind of that whole idea, Ghostwriter from back in the day on PBS. And so I was doing kind of horror thriller stuff as a kid. And then when I became a teenager and kind of found the artsy people who were into anime and,
Yeah.
you know, The Labyrinth and Princess Bride, like all these
Yes.
fantastical stories. Even though I had loved Disney and fantasy in that regard, I had never really been into sci-fi fantasy, and my friend group in junior high and college got me into it. And so I was kind of bouncing all over the place. And when I got to college, I was a lit major and reading a lot across everything from Beowulf to like modern things that were coming out in the 2000s. So um, I ultimately decided that I loved world building and being in a second world that I could control in order to help shape the narrative. And it's funny because one of the things that I kind of say it broke my brain, but in the best possible way, was the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it has a resurgence right now, so it's really popular, and that's kind of
Yeah.
like a cliche thing to say. But I
No, not at
remember
all.
it was very popular right after I got out of college, and I felt like it was a little too young for me, it's too mature. And my friend gave me the book to read, and I read the first page, and I closed it and put it down because it was in first person present tense. And I was like, oh, who would do this? Oh, this is the worst. My current trilogy is in first person present tense. But it really, when I went back to it, because she was like,
Yeah.
no, seriously, you have to read this. Yes, seriously, you have to read this. I gave it a chance, as well I should. I didn't even notice the tense after the first like three
Right, right,
pages.
right, right.
But what really got me was that I did not like Katniss. And
Hmm.
I had grown up with a lot of fairy tales and Disney and these stories where there was a hero and the hero was likable, especially girls, especially
Mm-hmm.
women,
Mm-hmm.
and not liking Katniss, rooting for her, being so on her side and
Right,
understanding everything she was doing, but not really liking her and thinking she
right.
was a little selfish. I was so impressed and I was so awed
Mm-hmm.
that Suzanne Collins could do that, that she could make me see this character in multiple dimensions, how flawed she was, and still absolutely be obsessed with her, but not
Yeah.
like I could see myself as her, not like I could, kind of kick Katniss out and put Sam in,
Right,
but that
right.
she she was not a person that I would have imagined could be a lead. And she was the perfect lead in
That
my
was
mind.
the
And so,
first YA series I read as an adult, and it was
yeah.
really good. I was like, where was this when I was? Because I read, I'm a Gen X, so I read like Nancy Drew and Trixie Belden and
hmm
Judy Blume, teen stuff, that
hmm
kind of thing. There was not that kind of like what you're writing, that kind of fantasy adventure that didn't, to my knowledge, really exist when I was a kid, when I was like
hmm
a tween and a teen. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're writing that kind of stuff because as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, I hope there are people just lined up to write this kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's really influenced the way that I write because I feel so strongly that um I don't need to write a character for a reader. I write a story for readers. I want the story to be compelling and follow enough convention that people can enjoy following along. But I really don't like to limit the characters to be one dimensional. And I don't even mean in like an archetype bad writer kind of way. I just mean even in the ways that we were used to. And I really like pushing the boundaries of not knowing whether or not you really like a character, even if they're the hero, even if they're the heroine, even if they're the villain.
Mm.
My best friend is obsessed with my villain. And I'm like, mm.
Well, it makes
But
them a little more real, right? It's you
mhm,
don't have to you can imagine a person, a real person. You know them as a
exactly,
real person, not just this avatar or whatever. So what
exactly.
is
And I
your
think that helps. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think that really helps to keep myself at my age, turning 40 this Saturday or this Sunday,
Oh,
still able to connect
Pre-happy birthday,
with
young
the youth.
thing.
Thank you, thank you. Because I feel like if you can create a character that's real, then that character can connect with any shape, size, age, color, beliefs of a person.
hmm
Because you don't have to be able to see yourself. You can just see the person
Yeah,
and
yeah,
go
yeah,
on the adventure with the person.
yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you working on right now? What is your project that you're what's launching next? What's in the type what's in the I was gonna say typewriter. What's in the computer, the word processor, the Scrivener, whatever it is you're writing
Yep.
in.
Yep. Right behind the Zoom screen is the Scrivener file that I was working on 5 minutes before joining, which is book two of the trilogy. So my debut novel was the first book of this YA fantasy trilogy called the Anjidia Chronicles. Book one is The Forgotten ATNAMA. And so I'm working on book two now, which I have not revealed the title yet. And I'm aiming to get it out to beta readers in a couple weeks. So
Okay.
Oh, that's
pushing
good.
through edits right now, trying to get it out the door.
So how long's it been since the last release of the first book?
December 2020. So I just released it in
Oh
December,
yeah.
coming up
Oh,
on
So
the
just
year.
okay.
that's a
So
good
that's a good
productivity.
pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a real good pace.
Well, I promised all my readers because I first drafted the story 17 years ago. And I promised them all that when I put out the first book, especially because I'm indie publishing
Yeah.
and I have a full-time job,
Yeah.
that I had already written the trilogy. I've already received all the dev edit feedback on the trilogy, so I would not keep them in limbo any longer than my busy life forced me to.
Oh, oh, that's
So I'm
nice.
trying to push it out.
Okay.
I know that there's a group of readers that will not find the story until the series is complete. So
Right.
I'm trying to push through. Plus, I just love it so much. I want people to get a chance to read it.
And I'm so glad that you're getting joy. That so many of the authors that we talk to, it's not really a grind for them. Like I think there must be authors out there it's a grind for, but only in the sense that you just don't have time for what you want to be doing, which is writing.
Hmm.
Like I think a lot of the dream is you get to write full time, right?
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Agreed.
Most authors do not live that way.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Most actors are not famous. Most authors
Right.
do not live off of their books unless they have a supplemental income in their household. And I think that it's nice that you're getting these books, you've already got these ready to roll. Well,
Ready-ish.
relatively,
Yeah.
like, yeah, but that you'll then once you finish those, you're going to already be on to the next one. So you're going to be able to build up a backlist pretty quickly once you
Yeah.
get them. Yeah, so that's good. I'm really excited for you. And with your 40th birthday coming, I mean, that's like almost like a present to yourself that your second one is
Exactly.
coming out. How exciting is that?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I tried really hard, and a piece of advice I would have for writers is not to give myself a deadline. I know
Mm,
that can be very motivating for some people. I want to publish by 30. I want to be published by
right.
18. I've seen a lot of kids who are like, I want to be published before I'm 18. I'm like, look, you can do it. Go for
Right.
it, kid. But also, you can be 40 and still working on your debut
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
okay. Do what you can do. And so I'm really just enjoying the ride. And honestly, writing keeps me sane, especially in the world we're in today. It is a very big spark of joy in my life. So yeah,
Are
I
you
love
comfortable maybe with sharing a little bit about um, kind of pros and cons of self-publishing? Because when you were talking, what it sounded like to me, like that autonomy, like you're being able to kind of control your rollout, not have the pressure of an outside source
Hmm.
other than your enthusiastic
Yeah,
readers and fans, but not having an outside source saying we need it by such and such a date because blah 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 blah. Will you talk a little bit about your experience with that, please?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I had been to the trenches, the querying
Yeah.
trenches, trying to find an agent a few times, actually. I'm very familiar with that process. I'm a researcher, so I did a lot, become very familiar. And ultimately, because I have a full-time job where I help to run a company, so I have a
Mhm.
lot of experience with operations, finance, tax law, like how to keep a
All the
business
nitty
going,
gritty.
etc. All the nitty gritty. That piece of it wasn't too intimidating. I also trust myself to hire and select personnel, therefore vendors to
Right,
work
right,
with.
right,
I trust myself to kind of read the room, get good recommendations, find a tribe. And that's all a lot of work. It's a lot of work to find your people, to find people you can trust, especially when everything is, most people are finding communities online rather than in person.
right.
Um, but I knew that I had the skills to do that piece of it. And so really for me, the question of self-publishing versus traditional publishing was first asked of me in 2008 when I
Mhm.
first wrote the theory. My friend had recommended because there was a big USA Today article about this newfangled thing, um, and so it's something that I had thought about way back then, and I really had a lot of biases. I was gifted and talented kid, oldest daughter, overachiever, valedictorian, like
Right,
gold star seeking person. So the
right,
validation of an agent saying it was
right.
good enough for a long time, I really needed that. I really needed someone else to say it was good enough. I knew how to work hard. I knew that I could believe in myself, but I needed someone else to say it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I became an adult. People can become an adult at any time, but when I became an adult in my late 20s, that I kind of developed that confidence in myself um, to really look at it objectively and
Mm-hmm.
say, I have the skills, I can build this the way I want to. My day job can fund it, which is a gift and a privilege. And so, if the only thing holding me back is that I think it says something about me that I couldn't get traditionally published, when I also know that I'm writing a trilogy, which is a debut author for YA fantasy, is they're not even going to open the query basically. It just it
There's a
just
lot of
was a
gate.
huge
There's a lot of
uphill battle.
gatekeeping.
Yeah,
There's a
yep.
lot of gatekeeping.
There were no wish lists that really kind of had what I was writing, and comps are my literal worst nightmare. So
Yeah.
um, it wasn't a good choice. And then I also did the math of like how long it would take me to publish it, and
Mhm.
that was also worrisome
Yeah. Yeah.
because right now I'm looking at a 3-year schedule if I'm lucky.
Right.
Traditionally publishing that would be easily twice or three times as
Yes.
long. For this
Yes.
trilogy, I rewrote 5 years ago. Like
Right.
it's
Right.
already been kind of sitting with me for 5 years. Waiting another 10 to get it out there was insane to me. And I know sometimes things can move faster, and maybe I would get that lightning in a bottle, but why do I need to? And I
Right.
also
Right.
feared what could happen if a publisher wasn't a good fit, and I kind of went down
Mhm.
that road, and it
Mhm.
There's a lot out of your
soured the
control
experience.
in traditional
Hmm.
publishing once they,
Exactly.
yeah. So, well, I'm glad that you decided to forge ahead. And oh, you get the next question.
Um,
What is the
so
best way? Yeah.
right. No, I was gonna say,
Oh,
you've given us a good kind of overview and given us some teasers and some hooks. So now the question is, what's the best way for readers to get in contact with you? Like, do you have a website? Do you have a newsletter? Like, is there a particular social media
All the
platform?
things.
All the things. So
All the
I'll let
things. So online, I'm Courageous Scribe, which was a choice, like my title having ATNAMA in it, which is a made-up word. Courageous Scribe with two S's, and courageous is it was a choice. But
I'll put the
Courageous
link. I'll
Scribe,
put the link in the thingy.
yeah.
courageousscribe.com, Courageous Scribe on Facebook, Courageous Scribe on Instagram. I don't have the clock app.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'm a less visible and active than I want to be. I love it. I actually really do love
Mm,
the social media engagement, but it's very time consuming.
Oh
right.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
every minute I spend thinking about, like just today, I was thinking about a post I want to do and I was supposed to be editing. And so it's just,
Right.
Yeah.
where am I putting my creative energy? So
Right.
I'm having to really balance it. And then on my website, I do have a page that doesn't have any events on it, but it's where I will post my 2026 events once I start booking them out. So
Great.
Okay.
yeah, what newsletter, all that, you can find it on.
Well, thank
Excellent.
you so much. We're so excited that you joined us today, and we want to thank you for being on the Bitchy Quill and for doing panels with us. And we hope to be in touch with you more as your books come out and to talk to you about those as well as they come out and how that's going. Thank you to anybody who is watching this. Please go pick up Sam's books, go visit her website, go visit her social media, give her a
Sign up for a
follow.
newsletter.
There,
My little baby.
Oh, nice, nice,
oh, you got a little phone.
beautiful.
I love
I
that.
have a
Yeah.
phone cover with my
Oh,
cover, so
now about
that was my
that.
gift to myself.
Oh, that's
You
nice.
should
I'm
So it
give
makes it very.
jealous.
every.
If I don't have a copy of my book, I'm like, here it is.
There it is.
Nice.
There it is. That's smart. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
I
Um,
sold a book to my optometrist that way, so I'm just saying.
you never know. You
You
never
never know.
know.
You never know.
Love it.
If you want, and now I'm talking to the audience, if you want to find her information, it'll be in the the description of the episode here. Also, like great Christmas present or a holiday gift, birthday gift, please contact, if you don't want to buy it online, go contact the local indie bookstore, see if they'll pick it up. Reach out to the author. We love all of that.
Libraries.
Support
Libraries.
indie authors, contact your library and ask them to pick it up. So, thank you so much, Sam. We appreciate you. Thank you for being on, and we wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Bye
you're welcome.
bye.